Oh, happy Friday, all. Oh, it's kind of funny where gas is spiking like crazy. We're just talking about it in the council chat. It's at 370 Gwei. Can you believe it? Oh my god. It looks like it's some shitcoin stuff, which is always great. I don't know. I think Bruno posted one of the contracts in the last 5 minutes that's just getting a bunch of ETH in at the moment right now. Pretty insane to say the least. But welcome to the world of Web3, and welcome to it where even though the market is dead on all fronts, Gwei can still spike because again, NFTs are just one of the multiple asset classes. And this is where you're seeing like probably more interest on a lot of shitcoin, altcoin like plays at this point, just because it's probably the only place where real interesting profit can exist. And Degens need to get their high, right? Degens need to get their play. I don't know what exactly is happening. I'm not looking at the exact contracts, but I mean, I think what you're seeing here just generally is that this might be again a bad time for generally NFT markets because we'll seize the floor for other people because let's be very honest, the NFT market is really sad, right? Like if I had to create a phrase to represent the ETH NFT market, it's something like womp womp. Like that's what it really feels like. There's really nothing else left in this kind of whole design, which is, unfortunately really disappointing. But, with that, we got to figure out now, okay, how are we going to move forward? What is our opportunity? What are we going to be able to learn? And, how do we scale our village? And I'll talk to you guys about that as well. But, if you were up early here in the European time zone, we had a really fun chat just breaking down the Genkai Mint. It finally minted out. It took them like about 18, 24 hours on this, right? And they finally minted out, which is kind of crazy. Oh, it looks like the reason why this is working as Polly is running some shit coin to say the least. Interesting. That's what the wallet is for. Hilarious. Um, Again, this is kind of where you're gonna essentially see in this market, bad actors are probably going to win, right? That's the sad part about this entire market. Bad actors are going to be the ones that are going to get attention because Degens be Degens. Degens are dumb as fuck. Degens are dropping stuff into Polly's plays. And it's not because there's not profit, right? I'm not saying that, but it just shows that regardless of who the human is and what they're doing, we will chase profit at all costs. And that's kind of where it gets really disappointing in this market because none of us realistically are in it for the vision of where web3 and digital assets can go. It's really what's another game that's better than lottery tickets that I have a perceived edge on that I could stack ETH, right? Or stack, fiat. And that's where it gets really disappointing because this whole market has been trained to not care about anything else but profits. And this is where this whole design gets really depressing because for those of us who may believe in this future that web3 can have, it's daunting to maintain that vision when we see honestly all this bad acting left and right. And this is where you're gonna like honestly recognize in this space is that this is why I believe a hibernation on ETH NFTs is just honestly a given, right? Everything is moving at such a slow pace. Everything is going incredibly um, you know, in a poor position as well. And all we get is more shitcoin, right? All we get is more inherent assets that have no inherent value and that are purely on speculation. And this is where, again, if we get stuck in that, right, the market will never grow. This market is just us tossing around ETH to different people, and in most cases, we're just getting like honestly fucked by the house. I was actually talking to someone we ended up meeting after our Genkai event, a guy named OX Kira. Was a founder. He'd been working in the space for a bit, and he just had a few really interesting points. And one of the things that he kind of noted that I think is exactly right is that we're playing the worst casino, right? Like at least in Vegas, we know the shitty odds against the house, right? And if you're familiar with Vegas odds, right? Like, even if you're playing slot machines, right? The odds suck. Those are the worst odds you can get, but they're like 70-30 in favor of the house is really what that structure is. And if you play blackjack based off different rules, it's usually like a 60-40 in favor of the house, right? Sometimes 55-45, depending on the rule structures here as well. And even though you have a losing edge, right, it, and you're willing to play it because again, that's like the degen lifestyle. But what's now kind of crazy about Web3 is that we're now playing against teams being the house. And what these teams are doing is they're just extracting all this ETH and the assets immediately go down, right? So we're playing against these houses where the odds are really like 90-10 in favor of the teams, right? And it's so sad and so broken in this kind of manner that why would you want to play this game? Why would you want to play this dumb casino game at the moment right now with NFTs where every NFT is going below mint, right? And right out the gates. And what's the likelihood of them actually 2xing is actually the more interesting question, right? What's the better bet right now? Like if you want to 2x something, just fly to your local casino and go play blackjack and double down on a couple of hands. That's a better design than the rest of what this market is offering to you. And that was a really interesting point when you think it in those frameworks and you realize like, well, shit, we're just the worst casino. That's what we've turned this market into. And don't get me wrong, there was always speculation and degen stuff. But what we've done is that we've been okay letting founders turn this into the worst casino structure ever. Ever. Right. And you could see this with almost all the paid mints. I think the only paid mint that's above mint barely, right? And holding because they did some of the right cuts and the right supply is Garbage Friends. I think they're the only ones that are maintaining and surprisingly maintaining what like close to 2x on it. What's the floor price? Well, they just and they just switched their contracts, which is super annoying. I don't even know if I could find the Garbage Friends new contract here as well. I'm not even going to look for it because it's too damn annoying to find it. Like, I mean, that's how bad Garbage Friends was in their execution, is they had to switch contracts within the first 2 weeks. Like, oh, that's awful, right? That's so that's so disappointing. Grapes, weirdly, Grapes doing well. But what is Grapes really doing well for, right? Is like, let's be honest, right? It's a shitcoin play, right? Like that's really what it is at the moment right now. We're all speculating on the value of their token drop, nothing really else, right? In this design. And don't get me wrong, I'm glad Grapes worked. I mean, if we as a community could have like owned 90% of Grapes supply if we really wanted at this point, right? We had such a huge allocation. We were actually the team that was doing a live breakdown here as well. And because of that, right, what you saw was, at least a good outcome. And again, give them credit, regardless of this front, they've at least held a meaningful floor price. They thank God they dropped to 3,333 supply. But again, when you're looking at it, these are the only projects that we're like actually like pointing out to as successes, right? In the last like 90 days. That's just depressing as fuck. Like, I want to be very honest, right? And this is kind of the important thing to understand. I'm glad. It looks like there's a lot of Grapes holders here, so I'm glad. As long as you guys making profit, that's great, right? That's it. Whoa, Grapes aren't better than Ether. What are you guys talking about, bro? What are you guys looking at? Let's put some. Like, I know Ether's been incredibly poor in their execution. Y'all are crazy. Grapes got one of the worst art ever. Like, let's be really 100%. That doesn't even look like Fiverr art. That looks like the art that would go into like a kid's video game made in like an unknown country, right? That is just like, hey, just assume this is good, right? That art is incredibly garbage, right? And I'm surprised. I don't know why. I don't know why they're not investing in the art. That's such an easy win. But there's no like identity here, and like it's literally something that any basic artist can do, right? Yeah, it's not, it's not even Fiverr art, it's twofer art, right? It's a couple little layers. But as we showcase, art doesn't fucking matter in some cases, right? For some certain of these projects. And Grapes knows it. Grapes is not making their project about art. Grapes is making it about the fact that they're building a game. Give them credit for that. And they built multiple hyper casual games. They're generating revenue to an extent. There's this belief that there's a rev share model through tokens, and they have venture funding. They're playing like a total opportunity here, in a different way, and giving them credit, right? And but that's sad though that all we can talk about is like Grapes and maybe Garbage Friends, right? And that's about it, right? Everything else is like hot trash, right? Like this market is just extracting. We know, I don't think Genkai's even airdropped it yet, which I thought they were supposed to immediately at the end of mint. But we know Genkai's going under mint immediately. 100% going under mint. There's no way they could sustain that unless they have their own market making pressure, right? But realistically, that's going straight under mint. Ether went straight under mint. Yeah, Genkai officially minted out 2 hours ago. So they finally got to that finish line, which is crazy, right? They offered a free airdrop for minters and people still didn't mint. That's how poorly mispriced Genkai was, right? Is that it wasn't even fair to be priced at 0.1, 0.25 wasn't even good. But even doing an airdrop, 0.125 wasn't good. Like Genkai needed a mint at 0.08, right? And dude, there's so many bad designs. Like honestly, if you want to hear like a teardown, and again, like it's not FUD or anything like that. It's just constructive criticism. You guys should go listen to here. I'll post it here. Like this is probably the most like thoughtful design. This is what actually here. This is the funny thing. I'm going to show you guys this, and then we'll talk about Village. Okay. This is a breakdown. Hold on. Where is it? Here we go. All right, just go to this. Listen to this whenever you have a chance. Just listen to this. This one is the breakdown on Genkai. I'm telling you, this is where this is the same type of analysis that people pay me for, like $1,000 or $2,000 an hour, right? I'm just literally giving it to you for free. This is what I actually do at different projects, right? When they actually want me to come in and help them, right? And I just straight up did this just because I just wanted to show you guys how I also think about projects as well. And this is all about like holder psychology, breaking down, supply strategy, understanding narrative strategy as well. And if you really want to understand like depth of product strategy in Web3, you should listen to that Genkai Mint breakdown, right? It is honestly, I think some of the, again, without me being biased because it's my own fucking knowledge, but I do think it's like actually the smartest analysis that's coming out in this marketplace at the moment right now. And this is kind of where a lot of people are struggling to understand, where is this market going to go, right? Where is this market going to scale? And again, this is why I just think the market is headed for a nosedive, right? Like if we're most excited about Grapes and barely Garbage Friends sustaining over mint off a bridge contract, and that's the most exciting shit we have on ETH for the last like 60 days, yo, we fucked, right? Like understand that, right? Like we in this incredibly tough position here in this marketplace, right? And this is kind of where you want to understand that this is going to be probably even, another leg down, because I don't know, what are you guys even excited about? Like honestly, like outside of the tribe ecosystem stuff, I don't know anyone doing anything interesting outside of literally the partners we're bringing you. I think like the gods will be interesting, yeah, if they can pull off season 3. I'm curious to see, I'm curious how WeBox plays out, which we got a large allocation to, and we'll probably do another AMA with them here as well prior to their min. Jungle we're really bullish on, and we'll talk about that. but it gets really soft. I don't know what else is really interesting. I don't know what is cyber brokers even doing at this point, right? Like I'm curious what is happening with cyber brokers. I mean, cyber brokers was like the most hyped and most disappointing execution. I actually like the art. I ain't gonna lie, but I don't know what they're even doing anymore at this point, right? And same thing, right? I can see why some people like Other Side. I'm super bearish on Other Side. I think Other Side is going to be so disappointing when it fully comes out, and it's so far away. Honestly, I'm super disappointed in Yuga, and it sucks, right? It's not because I'm not bullish on them, right? It's not. It's mainly because I don't think Yuga actually has an active Web3 founder anymore, right? And that's kind of the thing that's insane here, right? Is that when you're looking at this market and this products, what you're realizing is the top builders are struggling, right? We're going to see what Meme does. I think that's probably the last thing that's left here. But in the end, we're in this really, really tough position. And, it's easy to point at a lot of these companies, but yeah, I think Ray's right. If there's anyone to blame, it's us, right? Like, what are we trying to do? We're trying to, like, go get, you know, what are we, what are we trying to do? We're trying to find the next high, right? And I think that makes it really, really difficult here as well. So yeah, no, I appreciate that Wild West Crypto. That's an interesting. This is OCB Cyber Brokers. Is that what that is? I'm assuming that's what it is. I don't know. I don't know why the OCB is not clicking in my head. There's so many acronyms now that I can't even keep up. On Chain Buccaneers. What the fuck's On Chain Buccaneers? How are they number one and I don't know about? Interesting. I don't know anything about that. I'm hurt that we're behind a project I've never heard about. Um, yeah, dude, that poor Bruce Lee mint. Oh my god, if they're leaning into this with this Gwei, I did put a free mint out there as well. So in the Something is Minting channel. Again, it's like Bruce Lee IP. I don't think it's worth a lot, and I definitely wouldn't be minting it at this Gwei. But that probably means that the public will be open. So if Gwei does settle, you could maybe grab one of those for free here as well. But yeah, man, this is an awful day to mint. That's the other thing that sucks, man, is that with shitcoin season, you could have, or this shitcoin play, you're gonna have a lot of insane stuff come out in this market, and they're just gonna be dead on arrival, right? Just totally dead on arrival. And this is kind of where you're gonna see some crazy stuff. Oh man, yeah, Bruno showing some crazy stuff of what these guys are making. Holy shit. Wait, so Bruno, someone literally just made 350 ETH right now, 380 ETH on this shit on oh god. It's so sad, right? Because like no one should make 387 ETH to 380 ETH in that kind of time window, right? It's not a shit coin, it's Poly's shit coin that's right now out. And that's why gas is spiking. People were just trying to get in. I guess what was it, like an open LP, Bruno? Is that what it was? Is that what people were funding into it? Or it was just trying to get money in at low market cap. That's all it was. I don't even know what. I don't know. I don't even follow shit coins anymore. It's so hard at this point. But here's the crazy thing: is Paulie makes people money, and that's all that matters, right? And that's kind of like the same effect, right? There's a lot of unsavory people in the U.S. that I definitely wouldn't want to partner with. But the reason why they have a huge following at this point, right, is the fact that they make their people money, right? And people will follow money. That's the unfortunate this capitalistic structure here as well. That there's this kind of opportunity here to kind of scale this out. I Bruno just posted this. I'm gonna read it. Pauly time rug for a week and fucked up so hard that near everyone lost money in PD and DX. He pasted a contract on the website. On the website, people could mint tokens, but it was like a pre-sale. Some random dude added liquidity right after minting, and everyone started buying through the contract using the typical Meisterbots or Team Unibot as it's usually done. Liquidity was only $5,000, and people were buying tens of thousands and getting completely wrecked, negative 100%. And those who minted were selling 100x up on a low lick token with huge impact. I saw a couple of wallets that made $700,000 with less than $10,000 in. Example this, while everyone lost in total around 2.2 million drained. Oh, oh, I love it. This is the whole reason why we don't deserve anything nice. right? This is like why we deserve nothing, right? And this is what just also hilarious is that if you could play this game better than others, right, you could front run the shit out of it if you know what you're doing. But this shit's like super complex, right? Like I barely can keep up with this stuff. And even when I was doing shit coins, like I did shit coins full time in one of the previous waves, like when GM became like the biggest shitcoin in that wave, I was doing that full time, right, and trying to learn it for like 2 to 3 weeks. Like all I did was shitcoin. I honestly think I slept like 10 hours per week. It was nuts. I was dead because every time something is like, oh, when the fuck's this launching, and you're always on these stupid telegrams and waiting, and you're trying to get in under the lowest market cap, or you're trying to LP and inevitable delays. It was the worst fucking experience I ever had. But the crazy thing, it was then stupidly profitable, right? Because essentially, right, you get one win, you get one win. I got really early into GM, right? And holy shit, GM fucking went off to a crazy ass market cap and it didn't really matter. And I was like, holy shit, this is the dumbest thing I've ever played. And it just becomes a volume and entry play. And, lots of insider shit, unfortunately, right? Like just tons of insider shit that's happening. And that's the worst part about it, right? Because all this ends up becoming here at this point is that most of these people don't really realize that you're just going to get fucked by someone else who either already has the LP. You have to learn about honeypots. The worst feeling ever is learning about a honeypot by getting trapped in a honeypot for the first time, right? And like those inevitably happen. There's all these different forks of contracts of try to see like those that are doing different tax structures and stuff, taxes on sells, taxes on buys, and it was all just super shallow shit, right? And what was kind of insane was that in this kind of structure and in this kind of design, what you realize is like this was insane profits at insane levels. It was just actually insane, right? I couldn't believe it, right? I got really in on early on GM, right? Like very early. And like I 250x, right? Which is just kind of an insane number to say out loud, right? Or something like that. It's been a while. I have to go look at those numbers, right? It was a massive, massive win. And right, like when you're learning the strategy, you sell off a little bit and keep your moon bag going as well. And it just gets really crazy, really big, really interesting design, dude. And I was part of a group that made a shit ton of money off GM. I didn't even I put like the smallest amount into GM because, I was that type of guy not doing this to make money. I was actually trying to do it to learn. But again, that's all it was. It was putting a little bit of capital here and there, and then boom, right? You're just going to get, these huge returns. And, almost all the other shit coins were like neutral or maybe 2x best, but most of them were rugs. And it just became this crazy spray and pray methodology as well. So this is kind of what you want to understand in this market, right? Is that, we are all degens that have been incentivized to just chase the almighty ETH, right? And because of that, we don't care about anything else, right? That's the unfortunate thing. That is the primary narrative in the market right now. So here's our opportunity, right? And this is what I want to share because it does suck to talk about all this stuff and realize, and where is hope for all of us, right? And this is kind of the important thing here is that we could have had a huge opportunity in this market to build something collectively. But what we have to realize is this market is not going to collectively move to prioritize good product building. This market doesn't care. So what you have to do is you have to build real loyalty. You have to build a deep level of engagement of people who truly believe in what you're doing and that they're willing to hold, whether through thick or thin, right? And if you can actually build that, you don't need 10 million people, right? You only need realistically a couple thousand people to do that. And that's exactly what Tribe has been building. Tribe's counter narrative here is build the deepest loyalty we can with a few thousand people, right? Realistically, there's about like 10,000 active here. But to be honest, the hyperactive are around 2,500 to 3,000 people. That's what we're building our product experiences for. What I'm going to do is I'm going to build you guys a meaningful way to be a part of the upside of this project. We're going to try doing everything in our power to reduce the cost basis entry here. But what am I also going to do is I'm going to give you compounding rewards for loyalty. This is why this market sucks. This is the number one reason why Web3 sucks. Loyalty is not rewarded. Loyalty is exactly the thing that we disregard, because right now the actual economic play that is true is not to be loyal. Don't be loyal to anyone. Fucking dump, fucking front run everything. Like as soon as you get something, mint it, flip it, go. That is actually right now the economically better trading model in this market, right? And that sucks, right? Like if we literally are looking at the economic returns are right now massively more aligned for short-term holders than long-term holders, we're never going to have a chance, right? So what we need to do is we need to change that model and that design quite a bit. And it means that we have to be totally different than the rest of the market, right? Like totally different from everything that we're doing. And this is why we still believe in a lot of our stuff is going to be free mints, right? We're going to figure out cost bases. But what's also going to be cool is that we're designing for loyalty. Like, look at what Reapers is. What most people don't realize, what is really Reapers doing? Reapers is giving you an infrastructure to actually get access to some type of royalty share because you are becoming creators of this world, right? There is tons of crazy upside that you guys are going to be able to get, because what we're going to build is that the design is not only that, hey, you get to be part of the storytelling and the story building here as well, right? It's also the fact that by participating on that front, you're going to get access to the royalty share. And then here's the beauty of it. The more loyal you are, more long term, the more your share increases. Because as soon as any of those individuals were to sell their NFT assets, right, at mint, right, from mint that were participating, that royalty share is then lost. So then you have this nice deflationary mechanic where over time, if you want to sustain, your royalties will continue to increase, right? And it becomes this beautiful, beautiful design, right? And what you end up recognizing long term is very simply put, is that we're going to find ways that the economics align for long term holders, right? And this is kind of where this whole opportunity is totally different, right? And this is where it gets pretty crazy. And yeah, Reapers are deflationary as well, dude. Senators are they're not getting replaced. No, they don't get replaced. Senators are lost. This supply is dropping down, right? And more importantly, not only are we dropping senators, right? But then only the senators. So there is going to be a little bit of supply that is added after this event, right? A little bit of supply, not much, right? But what you're going to see is that, because again, when you're trying to build a good, healthy market, we want to bring a little bit of partnerships into the equation, right? Which is really interesting. And what you're going to see very quickly is that not only are we going to do this deflationary supply, but what's also cool is that only if you were part of this Reaper event and voted, right, will you have a chance to have a part of the royalty share. No one else will have an ability to get royalty share. You cannot buy in from the secondary market on that royalty share. Nada. It is only based off the individuals who participated and hold. So if you want to hold and you believe in the Reapers franchise, congratulations, your share will go up. And even if other people want to sell off, that's fine, because guess what? Your share of the pool increases, right? And we're figuring out the exact mechanics on how these will be allocated and stuff like that. But that is essentially the goal. And here's the best part. It's only going to be this sub 1,500 supply at this moment, right? It's going to be very small. And probably only 1,000 of you guys are going to have royalty share, right? And that's just one way that we're generating revenue without triggering a security violation, which is brilliant in that design, right? Brilliant in this design as well, right? And this is kind of why, we're trying to rethink everything. And to be very honest, if people actually understood what we were doing, Reapers would be the most talked about thing in Web3. But we don't need to do that right now, because here's the best part. I don't need more users. I just need you guys. That's it. I don't need anyone else. I don't need to shill this shit. I'll shill it publicly when we get closer to the mint and everything for people to be aware. But I don't need any other users. I have more than enough users here. And if you look at where Reapers is at, which is just also amazing, even with our delayed vote, what's so nuts is that, in just what, less than 24 hours, right? The third vote has what? Let's see, how many votes does it already have? Already at 65% voting turnout, right? 650 unique wallets already are doing this shit. You guys realize these numbers? We are the most active DAO in the world. Literally the most active DAO in the world, and we're doing this as a fucking sideshow. Right? Like, what the fuck is the rest of Web3 doing is what you should be asking. How are they not able to design this when we're doing it on the side and making it way better? You realize the average active DAO only has 12% voting participation, right? The average active DAO has less than 100 unique wallets voting. We are already way above that, right? Which is so insane in that design. And this is where this whole product becomes to another level. And this is why I love this design. And dude, and here's the crazy part. If you're actually part of these debates, like, shout out Lemon Boy. We need to bring that dude to every debate. It is some of the funniest fucking shit. It is hilarious. We are having so much fun. It is actually entertaining. It is actually fun in design. It is, and dude, you guys are actually building this world. It's nuts the amount of choices that you guys are getting. Like, it's fun choices, right? And dude, you're gonna see these crazy outcomes. Like, for example, like, maybe we choose to save the Leviathan, right? And Planet Cygnus, right? In that scenario, if we choose to prioritize them, the Leviathan might join our side and might join the Galactic Army, right? And we might be able to have this massive beast on our end. But in the end, right, if Lemon goes, right, and destroys the Leviathan with his Bowie knife and his two warm beers, we may lose one of the greatest resources of all time. And this is kind of the amazing thing here in this design and this structure, is that we'll have all these dynamic outputs, right? And again, based off the planets you choose to save and don't save, you're going to kill species off, right? Like, you are all straight up going to kill species off. And then you're going to see these votes kind of get bigger and better. You're going to see the R&D, like, yo, I'll tell you one thing really quickly, a little bit of a alpha here. Y'all made an awful decision not planning the clone army, right? It's going to be really interesting now, right? Here at this point, right? And this is going to be really fun because, again, your choices matter and you're building a world around it. And this is the other reason why we're doing this, is that you get to be a part of something that's never been done before, right? Like, never been done before, right? And what's cool about this is that this is an asset that you're less likely to want to sell, because that experience is going to be so close to your heart. You're going to be able to be part of this product experience. What I actually want you all to walk away from is that if you guys were a part of Reapers thus far and you've been part of this vote, you actually will have a fucking story to be able to say is, I helped build that world, right? And here's my NFT that proves it. And here's my royalty share that continues to come because I believed in this opportunity. That is more powerful than anything else. That's how you stunt on people, right? This was the vision we told you guys about. Imagine if, Legend of Zelda, right, had allowed you to get generative links from year one and that asset just continued with you. It would be a really amazing story. But we even took it one step further. What we did is like, yo, you not only get to get amazing generative art, and dude, the art is awesome already. Pilot sidekicks and ships, you already know what's coming, which is nuts. No one shows you third tier assets before mint. You guys like realize how insane it is? And Gokche and team are right now finishing up some of the last ships to make them even doper, right? And then what's nuts, right, behind all of that, right? Behind all of that, we're giving you real story, real depth. There's going to be a comic book behind it as well. And I think it's going to be an IP that will be unforgettable with these experiences. Like, honestly, if you join these debates, they're fun, right? A lot of them are really interesting. Some are nerdy. Some are really like, we're going to the RPG role and role playing side of it. Some are just like laughing. Dude, like, even the last event, like, I ruined the recording because I was laughing too hard. Right? Thank God we had one of our community members recording it himself, right? But like, I went to the replay and you just hear me giggling, right? And I don't really have a lot of these amazing joyful moments in Web3. And I hope that you guys can all be a part of that as well and find that joy in something. Hopefully, right? It could be this in this product experience. So again, I go through this kind of larger chain of thought process and design because there's something really beautiful happening here in this Discord that 99% of Web3 doesn't understand, right? We have true loyalty, we have true connection, we have true design. And I think the best part about all of this is that we also have a relationship, right? And this is kind of why I think it's really interesting. And it's a relationship that's taken a while to kind of form, but what's also really amazing is that you guys are giving us the room to be patient, right? You guys all understand is that as we develop this IP, we don't have to rush to mint, right? And what we can do then, right, is that we could get to this really interesting position where again we have a ability to stay aligned, right? And that's kind of where you have this huge opportunity to be a part of this world and this part of this design here for this structure, right? Which is really, really cool and really, really fun. So, with that, let me talk to you about the other half of our business, right? Which is really cool, right? And I love our rodents. Oh my God, dude, it's so cool. Cookjay. So, right, because the cool thing about rodent, really quickly, just some fun stuff here, is that, we get to, the way you do this here, we're not doing a generative mint per se. We're going to do like this pre mint and then inscribe. So, we have to get all the inscriptions ready. Like my whole weekend, this whole weekend, right? What's really cool is like I'm just reviewing. We already have like I think 12,000 to 15,000 generative outputs of the Ronin. So I'm going to be curating them down. We're going to finalize some of the colors, but like Ronins are probably ready to inscribe in the next 7 to 10 days, which is amazing, right? And Ronin's going to get really big really quickly. And that's the insane thing. Like I'm talking to you guys around like 3 or 4 different IPs, and we're getting more engagement on all of these IPs that companies that are only doing one thing, right? What the fuck are the rest of these companies doing? Like you should really be asking yourself that, right? And it's because like, I'm thankful to have a team that's willing to be active. I'm thankful to have guys like Mirror. I'm incredibly thankful that you guys for some reason want to listen to me over and over and over again, right? Which is kind of nuts. And this is kind of where it gets really, really exciting is that everything goes back to loyalty. So, Rex was asking how many senators there were. Well, here's the real truth. There were 1,400 senators, right? Or 1,380 is what it was. Only about 1,050 made it over. So that means 300 are getting straight up cut. Because again, that's just the amount of people you lose in this bear market, right? That's just what it is. And surprisingly, that's a very low amount of loss compared to almost every other server. Almost every other server is like 60 to 70% drop. We're only seeing like a 30% drop, which is really great. Yeah, no problem, Rex. And then right now you have about 1,050 right now that have come over. Right now, I probably expect by the end of this about 800 to 850 remain. That's probably what I'm expecting. And then just to give you a little bit of context here as well is like, let's talk about some other kind of fun little things here as well in this design is that we're going to also add another, there's going to be another 150 for diamonds or 200 for diamond supply. It's really about 150 or 160 for diamonds, right? We don't give ourselves it that's in the treasury. And then there will be another like 150, 200 going to our core treasury as well. And then there'll probably be another 100, 200 ish going out to public. And here's the cool thing. The supply going to our treasury and the supply going out to public, these are public partnerships, right? We want external communities to be a part of this as well, right? So the supply that's going to like ourselves at treasury and the public will not get any royalty share, right? Which is really cool. And there will be nothing there as well on that design, right? So they only are just getting the asset, right? Which is cool because they're not part of the creative process. And of course, we as treasury, we're not even taking royalty share. That's the crazy thing. The royalty share is going to be majorly given back to holders, right, that participate in the co-creation. And then the other percentage is going literally to the artist. That's it. Like, this is going to be the amazing thing here as well on this design. No, non-voters do not get to mint. They lose it all. If you did not vote, you lost that role. It was a participation-based event. and it is a deflationary supply design, right? And that's the cool thing about this. Like, you're actually going to see the Reaper's role be removed, right, from this server and Tribe. You won't even see it anymore, right? Because the Reaper server is now its own standalone server, which is really cool. So, you're going to just see this really cool sub 1500 supply, sub 1000 most likely having access to the royalty share from day one. And because of that, loyalty will truly be rewarded here long term. Yeah, Tanimal, Warlocks will get its own thing. Warlocks have a unique role that come in, I think, in week 5 in this, just to let you know. So, your Warlock role is going to have some interesting power. Warlocks get to control. It's like a concept of faction-like design, is what I can say for now. So there's only, I think, 36 Warlocks given out thus far, and I think there's going to be 4 or 5 more going to diamond auctions, and then 10 being able to be rewarded here, right? And that's about it, right? And that's kind of the insane thing here as well. Very small. The duty and honor role is nothing that's relevant right now, Cassius. That is something for the Lost Realm side of the equation. That will come back much later, but has nothing to do with this. That was just those who participate in the small loop. It's just a retention mechanic here as well. Yeah, I'll definitely make sure you and ICOB Beast or ICO Beast, ICO Beast, ICO Beast. That's what we'll call him. I know he loves that. That's how you pronounce his name, guys. Like, everyone thinks it's ICO Beast. It's wrong. He doesn't like it like that. He wants you all to call him either ICO Beast or ICOB East. That's just it really bothers. It really bothers. Poor. His real name is ICO Beast, is what he would prefer. We just love trolling him because so many people have said it here. In so many interesting ways. This is the only time I get to troll back a little bit. Okay, let's talk about Village here real quick. This is actually one of the most important things that we're doing here for Tribe, right? Which is really, honestly, amazing. So one of the things that we've been doing is we've realized is we've been a pretty amazing partner for a lot of people, right? And we're partners just even on the AMA front, right? You could see what we did for partners like Grapes. You could see what we did even for like partners like, we were pretty large, played large roles for people like Puma. Puma said we were the most influential pre-mint launch. Momoguru said, I know Momoguru went to shit, but again, Momoguru said we were more valuable in regard to engagement and real users coming into their network than any other of their partners, right? Which is nuts, right? And because of that, we ended up having a really amazing opportunity to start realizing our reach is meaningful, our users are real, and our knowledge is significantly valuable here as well. So what became really powerful now is that we extended that to this larger relationship to what we call Village. And Village is just this simple concept that we believe individual tribes should come together and form these concepts of Village with shared resources, shared knowledge, and shared insights. And what we want to do is we want to work on this really on a quarterly basis. We thought it would be a little bit of a faster pace, but to be very honest, it's so hard to find good projects, right? So hard to find good projects who understand what they're doing. So we had 5 partners lined up, but honestly, 3 or 4 of them just couldn't stand the heat in Web3 in this bear market that we had to cut them, right? That they weren't really ready to go, right? Which is pretty insane. And also, dude, I just want to say shout out to our diamond users. Holy shit, there's so many diamonds here in chat. What the fuck? There's more blue in this chat than other colors. Y'all got to put some respect on the diamond names. I love y'all, right? And this is kind of the another amazing thing about what we're building. This is what all of our partners are realizing, is that not only are they getting this insanely active community, right? What's insane here is that we also have active whale holders. These are incredibly whale holders in every way. These guys are holding $8,000 assets, right? Which is nuts. And because of that, right, we're able to come into these projects and get huge allocations. And that's really the beauty about where Village is going. these partners need us. And you guys saw with our first village partner, we knocked it out of the park, right? With dimensionals, like if you want to look at the metrics, we had 40% of the dimensionals allocation come to this community, which is nuts, right? And you guys realize dimensionals 3 ETH floor price for the first 48 hours, right? And held a 1.5 ETH, right? Floor for the first 100 days. After 100 days, it was still at 1.5 ETH. Insane. That was like legitimately one of the best wins in this market. And the best part was free mint. Free mint. Like, dude, so many of our diamond holders immediately got 50 to 75% of their cost basis back on their diamond, right? Which is amazing, right? On that opportunity. And that's ridiculous, right? And we did this in a bear market, right? And now our whole opportunity is, can we do this again? And we played a very critical role with dimensionals. You guys know this. Not only did we allocate, we did live comms, we did product strategy, we helped them with everything from supply. We gave them their contract auditor, we gave them their review on their metadata. We did everything here as well. And this is kind of where it became really powerful. Of course, Dimensionals is now, still figuring it out, and they're running into challenges. And to be very honest, the challenge was simple: is they stopped following our advice and they kind of deviated from the path. But because of this, right, what's really powerful though is that even in this bear market, we found one of the best wins with guaranteed allo. And guess what? We're going to do it again, right? And I really am bullish on a couple of the next partners that we have, right? The first core main partner here now for, essentially this next season is Jungle. And Jungle has just as much of the same structure as Eve. As Dimensionals. And what I mean by that is it's 1,000 supply. We have 50% allocation control, 40% allocation influence control. We actually have a larger treasury coming to the Tribe Diamond side. Coming to the Tribe Vault side, which is really exciting. And in this case, we're even getting more allocation for our community and our diamonds. In this case, all diamonds are guaranteed 1-to-1 allo, right? If you own, we have 3 diamond holders who own 6 diamonds each. Those guys are getting 6 jungles each, which is amazing, right? And if you have 2 diamonds, you get 2. If you got 3 diamonds, you got 3. And the crazy thing is also active diamonds get their own auctions. And then here's the crazy thing. All of you guys get your own auctions. And here's the best part is even though we got all that allocation, our diamond users, as Saita notes, we're literally the ones still trying to make sure that we're getting more ciphers. We're solving all the ciphers, right? It was Saito was actually the first one to crack it. I used my alt account to put the answer, but Diamonds actually cracked the first cipher and got 3 more whitelist, which is nuts, right? And this is the amazing thing about what we're doing here is that we kind of keep scaling this opportunity, but it's not just Diamonds winning. Guys, we gave out over already 100 supply of jungle to this market, to our community for relics. Holy shit. Do you guys realize that insane amount of allocation here, right? Just to our broader community, right? And we're still going to add a little bit more as well. No one gets allocation like we do, right? And we're doing it on tier 1 partners. This guy's venture backed. This guy has a mobile game that's here with me as well, right? That I play. I've been playing the mobile game for 3+ months. That's the nuts thing about it, right? And again, it takes a while to get a game right, but the game is done. It's functional. It's got full resources, full UI, full UX. It's got multiple maps, multiple characters. It has guns. It has weapons. It's actually really, really impressive as well. And, it is at the same kind of level and quality you want for a mobile shooter, right? It really is. It's at that level. And here's the best part. It's incredibly efficiently built. And that's kind of the nice thing about what he's building is this guy is also, exactly as ICO Beast notes, like this guy is killing it, right? Zhao is an actual DGen founder. The guy was talking about hamster races with us unprompted, right? Which is really amazing as well too. And because of that, right, what you see in this market and what you see in this design is that we're going to continually build and bring some of the best guys out here in the market and maintain that value back. And Tribe Diamonds are really going to be able to get that first access, which we think is A, really bullish, but also at the B, what I think is really exciting, is going to allow you guys all to get guaranteed allocation to move together, right? And here's the blur link, right? You could go to OpenSea as well, right? But here's the blur link for Tribe Diamonds if you're interested here as well. And yeah, we're just still maintaining value for diamond holders, right? And if you look at it, our listing percentages are really low, right? Our holders are really strong, and this is all organic. We haven't even put buy pressure, and there's more buy pressure coming on diamonds. That's the cool thing. They're coming. Like there's buy pressure coming. It's just in a bear market, right? It takes a little bit of time to get it all really right. But what am I trying to do is I'm trying to make sure this is fully organic. And this is a huge business model because let me give you some alpha that I've already hinted at. But because of Village, Tribe is already a profitable business. What's really interesting is that all of our Village partners are paying us a monthly stipend to support them as well. It's a very small stipend at the moment right now, which is pretty cool because what is our order of value that we're seeking? So let me just share this with you. I'm going to give you our entire business model here for Village. So when we meet a Village partner, what is the number one thing we negotiate for? We negotiate for allocation. That is literally the number one thing we require. We do not start any other conversation without that. It's not about money. It's not about anything else. I want the largest amount of allocation that they could possibly provide. And right, that is our number one thing. It's community allocation. Then the second term we're looking for is then we're looking for Tribe treasury allocation. So Tribe ourselves are going to be getting allocation to these partners. So in this case, right, just to give you context, right, Tribe has received, roughly, 40 dimensional stones, right, from dimensionals, right, and these will be going into the treasury, and we'll be distributing some, long term through a few raffles, and we might sell some in the future for liquidity for our own network, right? But that's really cool. And then same thing for Jungle. We're getting some allocation of the Tribe Treasury where we could also sell more of these to you guys for relics as well. And you could actually be buying tradable assets for value for relics. And we did this. Even if you guys remember, dude, you guys don't realize there were like 30 or 40 people who bought with relics, right? Who were able to buy with relics a dimensional stone when the floor price was over 2.5 ETH. You guys realize that we actually gave you a huge direct access to the allocation here when the floor price was over 5,000? Nuts, right? Just nuts on this front, right? So, so when we're looking at this, right, first tier of value is community allo, second tier of value is Tribe allo, third tier of value is Tribe comp, right? And this is the lowest one that we aim for. And this comp is usually a blend between capital, like fiat payment on a monthly basis, right? Or it is also, we will consider equity as well, right? And that's kind of the insane thing here, is that we could actually build a scalable model now. And very few people have been able to build a scalable model in this marketplace that's sustainable, right? And this is the beauty about our design, is by just working with a handful of partners, Tribe is technically a break-even / profitable business at this point, right? And this is kind of why you guys want to recognize participating and supporting Village partners is one of the smartest things that you can do. Because if we support Village partners, it means that I don't need to cash extract you guys. I really don't. That's not what I'm really focusing on here as well, right? And this is kind of the amazing thing, is that our whole product and opportunity is one of the most fair structures in Web3. Very few people understand the type of opportunity here right, to kind of scale this out and and be able to get this here as well. Right. And yeah, like as Bruno noted, right, he minted a diamond for 1 ETH and sold one of his dimensionals for 3 ETH. Right. Like that's a fucking good ratio. Right. And remember, every diamond holder, diamond minter has been in profit. We've never been under mint. Right. And that's the other amazing thing is that we're ensuring, right, in this design, right, we're going to be able to sustain for all of you guys to kind of scale with our market and our product. So, also behind Village, we've added another structure that we're working on that's now called Trust and Diamonds. So, these are for partnerships where we don't take capital, but rather we're just taking an allocation, right? And this is the cool thing here is that we're then able to get very large allocations that are guaranteed for all diamonds at a minimum. And then, moreover, right, we're going to be able to give you guys upside by distributing some of it to the market. So, one of those examples as well as a new test is WeBox. So again, I am pretty sure we have by far the largest allocation on WeBox, right? And what's cool about that is that's guaranteeing at least one allo to every diamond holder at the moment right now. And then for some multi-diamond holders, there'll be a bonus there as well. Plus, we were able to have enough allocation to sell into our marketplace here too. And because of that, right, we get to this interesting point where we could also bring in these other partners that aren't true tier one village partners, but they're still part of this village concept as well, right? Which is also incredibly powerful too. So we have now reached this point where we could actually get these really high quality projects and bring them in. And we're going to continue doing this. We're working on some, it's hard to do some of these structures on ordinals, unfortunately, because the supply size doesn't fit. But we are working with other ETH projects that can maybe hit these models here as well. And this is kind of the opportunity, right, of what we're building and where we're going is that Village is going to be a huge, huge opportunity for us to bring amazing partners in. And again, we have even more partners that we're still talking to in the pipeline that could be interesting. There's going to be different tiers of partners, right? I think the biggest thing is that there will always be one tier one village partner like per season or per quarter. So Dimensionals was the first, Jungle is the next. And then beyond that, we're going to have these other tier two partners, not saying that they're tier two in quality, but tier two in regard to our product relationship with them. So that would be guys like WeBox, and you'll see a few more other ones as well. Even in season one, right? We gave everyone Ghost Boy, we gave everyone Puma, we gave everyone like I don't know, dude. Diamonds get a shit ton of allo. Like diamonds get a lot of guaranteed allo as well too, which is pretty nuts. And there were nice profits within that, right? Small cost bases. I mean, every diamond had grapes if they wanted to get it, right? Not all diamonds took advantage of that, and a few of them kind of kicked themselves for that as well too. And what you end up realizing here, right, is that in this design, we keep giving you guys more and more opportunities to win, right? Which is really a positive opportunity as well. And what am I trying to do is I'm just trying to give you guys the most options. Like I'm totally fine that a lot of you guys like weren't didn't mint some of the stuff we give you. I'm actually fine with that. What do I care about is I gave you the option, right? We're trying to give you as much maximum optionality. This is what Tribe is designed for. Give you maximum optionality, and at the same time, the other beauty about all of this as well is recognizing that we're also giving you optionality where over 70 to 75% of the allo is free mints, right? So we're like even reducing your cost risk and your cost basis on this front by prioritizing such a large amount of free mints as well. And this is why Tribe is really special, right? And the best part about this is that you all are going to get a chance to get allo at some point in this world because we then built a system where your relics continually stack, right? And then, dude, we're giving you guys the alpha. Here's what people don't realize is that dude, because we told you guys about Weebox in the early days, there are tons of our community members who got Weebox allocation by doing the application early. Like we even helped you to get you guys that, and that's not even part of the almost the 10% allocation we got from the entire company. You guys were able to do that as well, right? And then separately behind that, right, what was really cool is that even with Jungle, like, dude, we're like half, I think we're probably like a third to a half of Jungle's audience at the moment right now. And that's mainly because Jungle hasn't, done the public launch yet. They're going to start doing that next week, which is great, right? But because of this, right, a lot of you are also getting access to really high quality projects. So yeah, awesome. Here, great to hear from Dello, right? He was able to go to the website and apply, and boom, you guys got Allo too. And that's the other amazing thing, right? Is like what you realize is that we keep giving you bunches and bunches of different opportunities. And again, you guys hopefully, I think a few of our community members won Diamonds won the first cipher, but I actually think it was our community that also won the second cipher as well, from what I understand as well. That's amazing because it means that I'm giving you guys more optionality to be a part of this. Of course, I want to take you all to the promised land. So we're building a system that allows you to distribute this really nicely. And that's why this relic system is so powerful, because you guys get to choose when you want to use your allocation, or you just keep letting them stack, right? And I hope that you're getting real knowledge, real insights, real opportunities. I mean, like, like we are actually killing it on that front, right? And this is kind of where we have a massive, massive opportunity to build a very live audience that cares. And the crazy thing is, like, I've also tricked a lot of you, right? I want to say I tricked you in this very interesting design where I've turned a lot of you who were grinders real users, right? Which is nuts, right? Like we've literally tricked you all as well. I love that meme from Killam here. What is Saint excited about? Free men, smart teams, huge tribe, Allo, 1K supply. Yes, sir. That's exactly what I want. Oh, that's great. This is what I really want. I want all of these. I want them all. And that's what I love, because our business model puts you guys first, right? I don't get paid, right? I haven't taken a dollar out of this business, right? Which is nuts, right? Like I literally have put money in only, because the goal here is that if I can't scale this large enough to allow all of us to win, there's no way that I should be taking any money out of the business, right? And that's the other important thing about this. So what are we doing is we're really trying to build this huge opportunity for each and every one of you guys, right? That you could be a part of something that's way more enduring. And a lot of people won't understand what the fuck is happening here, right? That's the crazy thing, right? It's so easy to like typecast what Tribe is, externally if you're not in, right? But what you're seeing is we put community first. We protect you every time we can. Like we go out of our way to protect you guys like no other, by giving you diligence, by giving you analysis, by turning down mints, right? And we turned down a shit ton of mints, right? We gave out over 10,000 whitelists. We turned down over 15,000 whitelists, right? And yeah, that's a great point. ICO Beast tried to FUD us on Twitter, right? Or ICOB East tried to FUD us on Twitter. And hilariously, is that after talking to him directly, he ended up buying a fucking diamond. And that's what I love, is that if you actually have a real conversation with us, you'll end up realizing Tribe is one of the few that is doing something that is actually scalable and actually enduring. We don't have all the answers, right? But I will be honest, we're working hard to find an answer. And I'll be the first to tell you when I don't have an answer. I'm not going to fake it. I'll be very honest when I don't have enough answers here as well too. And this is kind of the other reason why I think we have something so special, is that again, we have almost 400 people here at the moment right now, which is nuts, right? Like 400 people here at the moment right now, and this is an internal Discord event. And if you actually go look at all of the other projects out there, what's kind of insane is that even like, someone was just noting, like Yuga currently only has like 550 for their current Made by Apes event, right? At the moment right now where Yuga's hosting. Bro, Yuga, the number one fucking IP in most people's eyes, we're only 200 behind them. And this shit was kind of spontaneous. I moved this time slot up randomly. Imagine when we start creating these people here, right? At this point where, everyone was hyped, right? And everyone is available here as well on this front. So this is kind of where we have something really special, guys. And I hope you understand it. So, what's next steps here, right? We're gonna start opening up Village to be able to bring on more partnerships. Because here's the crazy thing. No one knows about Village. We don't even talk about it, right? And this is where you want to realize is we're gonna probably bring, I don't know, 3 or 4 more partners in to Village over the next 3 months. And we've been turning down tons. It's nuts. Like we just been turning down everyone. And this is the other amazing thing about what we're doing here is that if we keep scaling, right, and if we keep getting this right, dude, like people say we've never minted, but we've given you guys access to one already amazing mint with similar supply for our first project. We're going to give you access to another tier 1 mint that's going to have that. Oh, and we also gave you 10,000 whitelist along the way. Like, get the fuck out of here. We've driven more value without asking for real capital. All we've taken, and here's the crazy thing, because you could look at the math, right? If you exclude Diamond Mint, do you guys realize that we've only asked for, what's it, 80, 90 ETH? Yeah, like that's it. Like 80, 90 ETH. That's all this community is asked when you ignore fucking diamonds, right? That shit's insane. We've only taken collectively 80, 90 ETH. When you see all the fucking garbage out there in this marketplace, you don't need to fucking steal people's capital. You don't need to do anything like that in this marketplace. You can still build with real value and real design, which is where I think it's so amazing. Yeah, I mean, I'm spending your guys' 17 ETH have made my Europe trip so amazing. It's amazing. Yet Saint still flying coach. Saint still flying. Dude, I'm not even like in a nice hotel. I mean, I actually got a really dope Airbnb. But like, dude, I got an Airbnb in France for what, 45 days, and it's costing me like less than $100 a night. Like, bro, like I am making sure that, and you guys aren't even paying for that. This is me paying it out of my pocket. I am actually like, I've been very blessed. I'm very blessed that I do have capital. I'm very blessed that, I don't need to do this, but like I also don't overspend, bro. I am my mom has taught me, dude, I lived on Ross and Marshalls as a kid. I got some dope shit here and there, but dude, I don't need to overspend anymore. I do overspend on like 2 things in my life, right? I want to be very honest. I will absolutely overspend on great food. That is the only thing I'm spending a lot of money on. I am a douchebag on that front. I do love me some Michelin star restaurants, right? Which is really true. The second thing I do overspend on as well would be live events. I love going to great sports games. I usually do get decent tickets, but here's the amazing thing is I have so many relationships. Like I'm going to UFC Paris and the tickets are free and like I'm in the first 5 rows, which is amazing, right? So, like these are the things I do. And yeah, maybe the third thing is, dude, after living in SF, dude, oh my god, dog treats are so expensive. Like, dude, Archie was living it up, right? Which is so nuts, right? Like, it is nuts how expensive it was. I remember I used to get him this like chicken jerky, and it was a bag of chicken jerky, and Archie would probably eat it in less than like 1 week, right? And it cost me like $58, right? Like $58 for these chicken jerky strips for a fucking dog, and it was human grade, right? Like it was nuts. Like I will overspend on that shit here as well. No, man, I don't even like caviar, so don't worry about that. But I do like some good brunch cocktails, like get me a good mimosa, a Bellini. Yes, please. Yes, please. But this is kind of where I think it's really fun because I'm now in this really like nice lifestyle, right? Where I don't need to overspend on most stuff. And it's also weird. This is the weirdest thing I've learned. Once you get rich or once you have capital, like the insane thing is most people just give shit for free. Bro, like I've been in Paris. You guys realize that I've gone to I've probably been to 10 restaurants since I've been in Paris here, and at least one I've only paid for my meal 4 times. The other 6 times are paid by other people, like guests who are who are inviting me, or events that I'm going to. And these are like tier one restaurants, dude. I went to like 3 Michelin star restaurants where they're paying for me. It's so weird, right? When you start having like access and relationships, and even if you have capital, you actually spend less capital. It's nuts. But this is also the beauty about having this type of community. Like, dude, we have some amazing diamond holders. Like, I think I've met already 4 diamond holders in person, meeting and have plans to meet like 3 or 4 more while I'm out here in Europe as well. It's pretty amazing here as well now in this type of design is that we're trying to scale this up, right, which is pretty cool. So what is our next goal, right? Our goal is to now get the next best village projects here. And to be honest, Zhao is crazy, right? Which is amazing. Yeah, that's the fifth knows. That's the fifth hosted me out at Matsuhisa. He was one of the amazing diamond founders who comped the fuck out of me, which I appreciate the fuck out of you as the fifth. That was a really fun night. And that's kind of the amazing thing, right? Aziz says hi. Tell Aziz to come party with us, bro. That's what Aziz needs to do, man. We got to go hit something else up here as well. We got to go back to the jewel at the Paris Tower. That's what we got to do. But this is kind of where it's brilliant, right? Is I've been able to build all these relationships and come into it. Yeah, man, that's the fifth. Tell me when you're in Monaco. I'll take a train down to Monaco whenever you're there, and we'll party in Monaco for a weekend. I'm down. Because that's the other amazing thing. Like, I just do weird stuff. I know this conversation is trailing, and I'll get you guys a relic here really quickly. I'm actually doing I'm actually doing my first birthday, like small little birth. Oh, you're already there? You're there for 10 days? Shit, man. Okay.
For business.
Maybe I can meet you there next weekend. Yeah, bro, I'll meet you there next weekend. This weekend is like my birthday stuff I'm actually doing. So I'm doing a bunch of weird shit. I'm weird, dude. I like doing a lot of art stuff. So I'm going to a sculpture class, which is pretty cool. I'm going to learn how to sculpt for the first time. I've never sculpted before. The other stuff I'm doing is I'm going to this fun, like, one of my friends is a fashion designer at a major fashion house. So they're taking me to Aziz will rent a yacht. Okay, bro, dude, next weekend. That's the 5th. I'll be there next weekend. So what? That will be what? We're gonna go do a yacht party out in Monaco. That's what we'll do. I'll show up for you guys in a heartbeat. Just tell Aziz to party now. Yeah, this is gonna be me for sure, Bruno. That's exactly what I'm gonna be able to do. But this is kind of the amazing thing, is right. We're building these amazing relationships. Like, I'm gonna be going to Belgium. I'm gonna be going to Austria. I'm gonna be going to Netherlands. I'm gonna be going to Spain, and there's all these amazing relationships that we'll be able to do, and we'll kind of be able to scale this up. And I'm meeting all these other amazing people, and this is why I'm also out here in Europe. I'm building relationships for you guys. Also, diamonds, y'all are gonna get some other cool perks that are coming, right? Because we're gonna scale this. This whole feet pick thing is still hilarious to me, but yeah, I'll get you guys some yacht feet picks. When I go hang out with a couple diamond guys out there in Monaco, I'll definitely do that. I got some big feet, guys, so you'll get some nice ones here. We'll get you guys what you're looking for as well. Yeah, for sure. I'll let you guys know where I'm traveling to all these different places, and I'm gonna spend a ton of time in Europe, a ton of time in Asia. We're gonna hit a few spots in Middle East and Africa as well too. It's gonna be really, really amazing here as well. Harinder, I'm actually fairly doxxed. It's not that hard to find out who I am. It really isn't. Y'all just gotta realize it's way better to not work in a doxed manner, right? Like with your name. It's way more interesting to kind of scale this stuff out here as well. You guys are asking some weird questions. What kind of shoes do I wear? Y'all are crazy. Y'all are crazy, man. I am rocking some Yeezys. I'm rocking some New Balances. Ooh, I'll send you guys a photo later. My mom, I love my mom. She, for my birthday, she hand painted me some shoes that have the word saint on them, which is really cool. I know Yeezy shoes might maybe gonna get me canceled, but bro, like Yeezy shoes are still the best, most comfortable walking shoes. Because I wear a size 13 shoe, right, or 42 here in Europe, right? Like, yo, it is so hard to find a good shoe. And Yeezy twos like are some of the best things. My Yeezy ones, dude, I loved my turtle doves, but I wore my turtle doves so much, my Yeezy V1s, like my Yeezy 350s, so much that I tore a hole in the side of my turtle doves. I do have a couple of turtle doves still at home, but they're just in boxes here at the moment right now. So this is kind of like a really cool, fun thing. It's not really drip, dude. Like, dude, Yeezys are like $150, $200 shoes now. Like, those aren't it. Like, don't get me wrong. I have some like crazy high price shoes. If you guys really want to talk about shit, like I could rock some. I got some, Saint Laurent Jodhpur boots. I got some Louboutins. Like I got dumbass shit. Don't get me wrong. I've done that before in my past life. But yo, I still just like my Yeezys, bro. Yeezys and my New Balances are dope. But okay, look, I don't know why we're going all the way down this whole like kind of scale and this kind of design. It's fun, but we can have more. Nah, dude, $200 is like like 150 $200 is pretty standard for good shoes now in this marketplace. Like, don't get me wrong, like it's not gonna be like a huge opportunity in this design for like everyone to be able to afford that. But realistically, like new shoes all cost like $100 to $150 from like legitimate brands. Even like good New Balances are like $90 to $120, right? So y'all gotta realize dude, I don't dress well anymore. I dress like a homeless person. Like, to be very honest, I straight up just like all I do is like wear basic Calvin Klein t-shirts and like shorts or like very simple pants. I do not like dress up fancy in that way. I have fancy shit like, but I honestly don't dress up anymore. I'm too old for that shit, right? Like I really will rock the most basic ass shit in wherever I go, right? And it's the nice thing because like I don't care about that stuff. I only buy stuff when I really like good shit. And there's very few good shits out here in this world. So realize we got to be able to do that. Okay, I'll answer all your guys' questions here as well in just a moment. But let me get you the relic here. I can't believe y'all want to fucking hear about my life, which is hilarious. But let's go to the secret chamber here really quickly. And let me set this up for you guys. I think this one's called Trust in Village. Yeah, this is just the relic Trust in Village. This isn't the Trust in Village whitelist. Period. What is this? Let's give you guys 28 seconds. All right, you guys got to be fast on this one. All right. The password is 53208. The password is 53208. Again, the password is 53208. Ooh, let me see if I can get it. I've stopped entering in the passwords, but I probably should do it just to make sure it's working. All right. If you guys need to go, feel free. This event's gone a little bit longer on this front. No, I really dress like a homeless person, y'all. Like, don't worry on that front. The village market isn't live. The village market bot is working. It's just there's nothing active in the village market at the moment right now. We this week we're not doing any ones. We're gonna open them up next week, so we'll have that here. When I say like I dress homeless, just because I have nice shoes doesn't mean that I don't dress homeless, right? Like y'all don't realize here as well is like all this stuff here. Now I smell nice, yo. That's the one thing I do. Like, yo, I'm gonna give you guys some alpha. One of the things I do love is a great scent. Like, most people are usually like wearing like Aqua di Gio and shit like that. Nah, man, I'm gonna show you this brand. Okay, this is gonna be the most. This is okay. I'm getting too bougie here, and this is kind of where you'll realize like is a little bit crazy. But I'm gonna tell you the guy who does best scents in the world. Oh my god, this guy is a god. This is the only stuff I wear now. Here, let me get. Oh shit! It sucks to. Okay, it sucks when I'm in Europe because it all puts me to the French site. But hopefully, if I send you this link, all right, here. This is the stuff. Yo, if you want to smell good, guys and ladies, amazing female scents. I did on this front. It's called Frederick Malle. Oh my god, this guy has some of the most insane scents that I've ever had, and I get insane compliments for this stuff. Y'all need if you want. I mean, it's pricey shit. I ain't gonna lie. You get some like cheaper one, like smaller bottles and stuff, but like one large bottle of these usually run, depending on it. Like one of my favorites, it's a kind of both male and female, but 100 milliliter version of this usually runs like 300 euros, right? 300 to $350, right? Which is pretty nuts. And they also have some crazy um, versions that like use oud. If you're familiar with oud, it's like this very specific scent, primarily used in like Arabic cultures. And you could try some like 1,000+ options here as well. But Frederick Malle is all I wear now. That is actually probably the craziest thing that I actually spent. I bought a sample bag. Don't get me wrong. There's some good scents even at low price points. Don't get me wrong. Like I used, I don't know. I used to wear Acqua di Gio from Armani. I also used to wear. There was another good one that I used to wear that I couldn't remember. And you usually get those for like $50, $60 a pop. But oh man, the amazing thing around Frederick Malle, it's there's this one and my other favorite one is how do I go to the English version? Hold on one sec. Sorry, I can't like they're trying to make me use my French. French is Trey Mall. So I'm trying to see. Oh, here we go. So do they have Osiris still anymore? This is the one that gets the ladies, guys. If you really want, I mean, I think Portrait of a Lady is amazing. It's a little bit more of a feminine scent, but I kind of rock that way. It's got a little bit of a rose tone to it. Let me see if they have the Osiris one still. Nah, they got okay. So the one I have no longer is available. If you want, like, there's some good ones here, but sorry, I'm going like really down this crazy opportunity. Creed Aventus, is that what is Creed Aventus? Is that part of this or I don't know? Creed Aventus Parfum. Oh, interesting. I've never heard it. But y'all love it. Hey, that's great. As long as you find one, yo. But guys, invest in some good cologne out there or good parfum if you can. There's some dope stuff. These are some of the bougie shit that I do, right? Like for sure. Outside of that, dude, like I live such a fucking basic ass life. I really do. It's nice though. I have my balance because I just work, right? That's all I really want to do is work at this moment right now. But just realize there's some cool stuff out there. All right, well, let's end this. Y'all are gonna ask me for some like insane like questions here. Hopefully, you can do this as well. Um, you could hopefully have some fun more questions. We'll do some more Q&A a little bit later here as well. But guys, I appreciate the time. I appreciate you hearing about what we're doing around for Village. We're really excited about these next steps. We'll also bring Zhao in for more conversations. You'll see more AMAs that are happening as well. Separately, right? What we're going to be able to do is that we're going to kind of keep scaling, these product opportunities here in this design for each and every one of you to be a part of it. So hopefully you guys got some fun feedback. Hopefully you found like, yo, you got a little bit of that cash. Go get that Frederick Malle, people. Go get that Frederick Malle. That's the other nice thing about Frederick Malle is almost no one wears it, right? You got to be really classy to wear Frederick Malle. And that's the best part because everyone wears Acqua di Gio. Everyone wears brands, right? Frederick Malle, though, that's some top ass shit, guys. So, all right, guys, I'm going to let you all go. Enjoy the rest of your week, and we'll chat soon. Bye-bye now.